Hi there, my name is Madi and I'm a Colorado knitter. This is my knitting podcast all about yarn, making, test knitting, all the fun stuff that we fiber friends like. If you're new here, thank you so much for checking me out. I hope you enjoy. And if you've been watching for a while, thank you so much for your support, your comments, your likes. I really appreciate you all. Okay, let's start off with what I'm wearing. Yesterday, so today is April 19th, Friday, and it's 2024. And yesterday, Joji Locatelli released this amazing vest. It's the Emery Vest, and she actually has a pullover version in her pattern as well. Let me show you a picture so that nobody misses out on the spelling and things with my pronunciations. But this is Joji's new design that's out, and it's a cabled vest and pullover. In her sample here, she uses Brooklyn tweed shelter held with a mohair, and in my version I actually used Biches and Buches gros lambswool, which is an Aran weight, dark red held with the claret color of Knitting For Olive Mohair silk. And so mine, with an Aran and a mohair silk, it went by very quickly. It is knit, my version was knit on a size 8 for the ribbing and the hem, and then the main body was a 10 needle, so it went pretty quick. And Joji has an amazing design where she has you do the front and the back, and then you connect it here with a beautiful, it's beautiful how the cable incorporates into the shoulder. Her pattern was written beautifully from the get-go, and she actually was very good about the repeats. So it's size inclusive pattern, and the repeats include, depending on the size, another cable panel versus more of the empty knitting space. I did talk about this on other podcasts, just a smidge. Again, I used the US 10, so it did go very quickly for me, and this is the first time I was ever able to knit cables without a cable needle. And so, since they're pretty chunky cables, and they're easy to tell where you're at when you're knitting. So you can tell if you've crossed your cable the wrong way, you can just tell right away. And so I think that helped with knitting these without a cable needle. And my yarn is sticky, so when I let go of a stitch, it didn't just drop down because it was sticky yarn. The other thing that helped was that I learned how to drop down and fix my cables. In the past, I would just frog it or unravel to the point of error and then try to figure it out and pick it up again. This time it was either Roxanne Richardson's YouTube tutorials or Susan. I'll link the video that I used. But I found a video that helped me so much dropping down to fix a cable, and say it's the center panel. Pretend I made the error in the center panel. You just focus on the center panel that you're working on. So she uses double pointed needles to kind of make it a small little area that you're working on. And it just clicked for the very first time. I've tried in the past and it just didn't work for my brain, but this time I was able to drop down and fix some of the cables that I had done an error on. But that was totally just me and being distracted while you're knitting. But it's nice to be able to fix your own errors versus frogging and starting over again, which has definitely happened to me in the past. I highly recommend this pattern. I do plan to make the pullover eventually. I think I will try some shelter for the pullover. I love it. I think it's fun. You can wear it with t-shirts. You can wear it with button down. You could dress it up. You dress it down. Joji shows it sometimes without a shirt, as I showed you. She has it more like a tank versus over another shirt. Very cute that way as well. Since it's such a heavier weight yarn that I used, I don't think I'll wear this one that way, but I love it so much. And the red is awesome. One of my favorite colors for sure. Okay, moving on to another amazing pattern that was released this week. And this one is from Alicia Plummer. And I've definitely talked about this for a while because I've been working on it for a while. So this is the front. And this is called the Scotch Pine. And there's so many options in this one as well, such as this with a pullover and a vest. Alicia offers a crew neck, mock neck, a turtleneck. She offers it with a little contrast color at the edge here. She offers 2 yokes. Alicia Plummer offers a more, it's not complicated, but just a more colorful yoke, meaning it has more color work in it. This is the pattern page. Alicia Plummer, also high on the hot right now. And this is the version that's not the simple yoke. I did the simple yoke, so it has a little less color work in there. But I love it. I used Holstgarn Supersoft held double, and I did finish off my entire skein of my entire cone of yarn, which is always fun to work through your stash. But I used charcoal and then an oatmeal color. I love how Holstgarn does color work and how it blocks out. It just really makes a cohesive fabric. Alicia Plummer also offers color work here at the sleeve, but I have really short arms, and so I just knit all the decreases as written, and then I was ready for the cuff for mine. I did do the sewn Italian bind off, which I feel like you can really see it on this one for some reason. Hopefully you can see it. Oh, I'm not sure. But it's beautiful. It makes it such a great finished piece. So I will wear this a ton. I can see this going on all my moose walks. And I can see it going... Where else could we do this? We could just do chores outside, go for hikes, play pickleball in a woolly sweater, because Colorado is cold, especially today. It's winter all over again. But I really, really love it. It's cozy. It is a rustic yarn, so if anyone's super sensitive, you probably wouldn't want a turtleneck in Holst Supersoft, but it doesn't bother me. And I actually think since it's kind of structured, like it doesn't just flop with a lot of drape, it almost sits a little bit away from my neck, so it doesn't bug me at all. But this one is so awesome too. I love the tweedy bits in it. Holst is a favorite yarn for me. All right, let's see. I feel like I'm speeding through this. We got a flat tire yesterday. Well, it has a slow leak, so I keep pumping it up, but today I have an appointment to get it fixed. Okay, let's see here. What else can I tell you? I feel super frantic. It's been an exciting week with so many great things. Last weekend I had to cast something new on, which that's a norm for me. I love casting things on. And so I cast on the cake fridge hat and finished it in the weekend. It was so fun and addictive. This has been on my wish list for a while now. This is by Gudrun Johnston, and I love her and her designs and her hair. I love her haircut, but she's so sweet. And I had the pattern from this amazing book. And I had mentioned it a long time ago, and I was doing it in a burgundy, but I changed my mind because I wasn't feeling the burgundy, but this is her version in the beautiful book. And in her version, she uses Jameson's of Shetland Spindrift. And then right here, I love this, which I've read it to you before, but it's Cake Fridge Hat by Gudrun Johnston. Yes, it's true. There is an actual fridge at the side of the road where one can purchase cakes and sweets. We always make sure that every person visiting Shetland gets to experience this phenomenon. The motifs and colors in this hat remind me of some fancy cake and tea. I have to see a cake fridge. That is so cool. I love that so much. But this is my version of the cake fridge hat. And I also wanted to let you know that I do post and I'm pretty active on Instagram. And my Instagram handle is at Colorado Knitter, if you want to check me out there. So I'm wearing a lot of the items there to give you an idea of fit and size, and I'm certainly open if you have questions about fit or my sizes. I have not a tiny head, so it's about 21-inch head, 21, 22, and this fits perfect. And it in Gudrun's pattern, there's just the one, and it's knit. I used a US 3 needle, and the yarn I used is Peerie, which is Brooklyn tweed, a fingering weight that's similar to their arbor. Now, unfortunately, they're no longer making Peerie, P-E-E-R-I-E. So I tried to look on Yarn Sub, but I didn't feel like there was that many options that were very comparable to Peerie. Peerie is different because it kind of has like a little bit of a springiness somehow, and I have no idea why. So that's relaxed, and then it sort of has elastic like in there, but I love it. It's very fun for hats because, again, of that little bit of a stretch. My hands are rough, so I can make it a little pilly, but I really think it's because of my hands more than the yarn. So my colors, so I had this blue, because if you don't know what to knit, use navy blue. That's how I have to do it. So there's a lot of navy blue in my knits. But this hat, the design is for a single edge here, 1x1 ribbing. I loved the cast on. The cast on was something different that I've done for a hat. It is a German twisted cast on for one stitch, and then a long tail cast on, then German twisted cast on, long tail cast on. So you're alternating each kind of cast on throughout, which made a really nice edge, and it's stretchy but doesn't flare out. So I will use that another time for a beanie, because it's quick and it's pretty, and it's stretchy but very simple, which I hadn't done before. And then it's a 1x1 ribbing, and the color work starts. So Gudrun's pattern, I believe, has maybe 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colors in her pattern suggestion, and I used only 3. So the main, and then I had this, the main is Fleet. Start over. Here's Peerie. Again, I'm sorry that is not available. I bought this when they were kind of closing the Peerie down, and sometimes they have second sales, and I do tend to grab a lot during that time. And so let's see, this first one is actually Seaglass, and I mean I used it all. So I have had these little minis from their last big sale that they had, and the Seaglass is that lighter blue. And then I had Treehouse, which is this green. And then I actually had a tiny bit of a light white. I don't know if you can tell, but in that color work, there's actually 2 colors of the lighter version. And so there's the Thaw, Seaglass, and Thaw again. And so this is Thaw. And I didn't even realize, but this top portion, this right here, is actually the same as this motif in the pattern, but we were watching Ted Lasso in the dark, and mine ended up being little diamonds. And since it was consistently diamonds throughout the whole top section there, I let it be. So that is actually not in the pattern. But then it's a really pretty top. It got a little fiddly for me because there's still color work up here, and I should have been using double points, but I tried a magic loop to close the top, which the cord was just getting in the way and everything for me. But it ended up blocking out beautifully. This yarn blocks out amazing, but highly recommend this hat. I definitely will be making another one. The only hard part is picking the colors because there's so many fun colors to use. All right, so there's the beautiful cake fridge hat. Let's see what else I have. My notes are not awesome, and I think they'll never be awesome. I just have to get on the video, push record, and share all the good stuff with you because I get so excited and distracted. Okay, so I have one more test knit, sample knit. Honestly, I feel like they're sample knits because the patterns are sent to the testers so beautifully written already. This one, I don't think it's totally out yet, and it doesn't seem to be on Ravelry, but this is a publication. So the pattern is by Creabea of the Creabea podcast, Rebecca Clow, and she designed this little vest for a magazine. Let me find it because I don't want to say it wrong. Let's just look up the Creabea. This one I didn't have a picture for you. Okay. I think she has it on her stories, maybe? Yes. The Journal of Scottish Yarns. I'll go to their page next to show you. And I will link everything below down in the details or where you push more, and I'll show you all the links. But this is the Journal of Scottish Yarn, and this is Creabea's pattern. It's like a little vest, a little summer layering piece. Let's see. This is a pre-order for issue 5 launching at the end of May. This is, again, the Journal of Scottish Yarns, and they write down that this cute vest is knitted from the bottom up, and they announce which yarn, which is, I didn't use that yarn, and then is a perfect layering piece for the summertime for Scottish summers, it says, because I assume it's a little chilly. But this is the vest. And I had shown you this colorwork panel before, and it's in Holstgarn, Supersoft, held double again. But I love the way the colorwork comes out with this yarn. And I kind of wanted it to mimic the idea of like a suede vest or just like those tan suit vests, things like that. That's the vibe I was looking for. But I do love it. One of the testers was brilliant, and she added the I-cord, so a lot of testers hopped on to that idea. It doesn't look like the journal is showing the pattern with the I-cord. All I did is make an I-cord the length I wanted, and I actually sewed it on the sewing machine because I was afraid it would pull off, because I'm a little rough with pulling it to tie it. Some folks did do the I-cord up at the bust to hold it closed this way. Again, since I was trying to mimic the idea of like a suit vest or a suede vest, I kind of wanted it to cinch at the bottom, more at the waist. I don't have a small waist, I'm more of a square shape. And so I did feel like bringing it in at this point kind of mimicked the idea of a waist. But super interesting construction. Let's see, some brilliant testers had the idea, which was very smart, to actually knit the body first. But it is written as knitting these panels. So you actually knit this panel and this panel in the round, so such as this. Pretend it's one long panel. And then you cut it. So you actually cut along here. So then, that way you can knit the colorwork in the round. And then you have 2 panels, and that's kind of guides as your swatch. So I actually did another panel first, and it was too tight. And that's on my denim jacket now. Ooh, I have a fuzz. And so that's, and the colorwork's fast, like 2 days of, you know, intermittent work, and it was done, because it's very fun to knit the colorwork. Then the part that was super intriguing to me was you knit. In fact, I thought, I think I'm missing part of the pattern because I thought only the back. Well, this whole piece from here, all this back is one piece. And you can actually see it on Creabea's Instagram. She has her back, or the body piece, blocking on blocking mats. Super interesting. I didn't really understand that that's what I was doing in the very beginning, so much that I did ask for the front piece. Where's the front piece? But it's all, so you go from the bottom up, and then this portion here is all one piece. I don't know how much you can see it. So there is some seaming, that it's not difficult, especially with the woolly wool. You do seam these color work panels to this front piece, and then there's the I-cord finishing. On my I-cord, again, the testers were brilliant. So anytime they would interject an idea or recommendation on Instagram messaging, I would take it to heart. And one of the comments was to make sure we go up a needle in the I-cord bind off. I would have never thought of it, and it actually helped a lot in the armhole, because it could get too snug right here, I believe, if it had no give. So I actually went up 3 needle sizes for my I-cord. I'm pretty sure I used a US 8 on the I-cord. So I definitely love it. I definitely will use it. I love the fabric that Holstgarn makes. It kind of suited the vibe I was looking for. And I love seeing all the other beautiful bright versions. Oh, I didn't even tell you what it's called. It's the Myrtle Vest, so you can also follow the hashtag Myrtle Vest. But 2 vests, it's super fun. Again, I have had these knit up for a while, so knitting is still so very slow craft. But it's very, very fun, and I've really enjoyed doing these sample knits. Okay, let's see, what else can I show you? I showed you all, I think those are a lot of finished objects. So what I wanted to share now are some things that I've worked on a little bit this week. Let's see. So I made great progress on the Mesa Dreams top, which I showed you a little peek of the yoke last time. It is such an addictive knit. The knit is by Briana Arlene. Let me make sure. Again, I don't ever want to mess up the names, so I apologize if pronunciation is way off. But Briana Arlene, and she created this great Mesa Dreams top, and it's a colorwork tee. She uses the new Cotton Confluence, I believe it's called, on the Farmer's Daughter website, and so a lot of testers are using that as well. I used linen Quill, and this is my top. So both sleeves are done, which it's like a ribbing of 0.5 inches for sleeve length, so I can get that done. That's nice. But I did use linen Quill from Purl Soho. I believe I went over a little bit last video, but I really enjoy this yarn for tees and summer wear. It can be a little bit scratchy, but it doesn't bother me if the weather's cool enough. If it's a little warm, it's not the right shirt for the warmer days. But I love the drape of it. It does great color work. It has a little bit of a linen halo where it has these little white threads that come out, which I like that look. Makes it a little more heathered. But the colors I used are dark denim, and then I have mixture of red Kiln, and then the lighter one is baked clay. I did add a little bit of the color work with the baked clay, the lighter peach in there, just because for me it helped carry it between these stripes. But some of the design is done solidly with that contrast color versus introducing the striped color in there. But I really like it. I will wear it a ton. It matches my dark jeans, my dressy jeans. But I thought it'd be fun with shorts. I really like it. It's pretty much done. So you won't see this for a while until it's released, but it's a good one, so keep your eye out. Great for summer. And it was so fast because you just want to do one more section. Just one more section. One more section. And then it's done. All right. That's the Mesa Dreams top. Let's see. Did I have anything else about Mesa Dreams for you? The needles I have used on this, the ribbing and the hem was a US 2. Anything that was stockinette, so not color work, was a US 5 needle. And then the color work I used US 6. I like linen quill in the 5 and the 6 because it gives a lot of drape, but it's not really see-through. I think it would be super cute in like black and white. Like I really am tempted to do a black and then just the stripe in white. I think it would be super cute because I like how the top fits. I like the neck. I like the top completely. So I feel like it'd be cute in black and white as well. Oh, I didn't use very much. So I only used one skein of the blue. And that's the Purl Soho linen quill. So let's see if I have how much is in there. It's 439 yards. So I did not play yarn chicken. I have plenty of the blue left. And then the color, for the color work, I have a lot left. I have 76 grams of the baked clay, so this lighter one. And that was out of 100 gram skein. So the lighter one, I used less. And then 65 grams left of the Kiln red. So not much yarn at all. So for me, this was 3 skeins, which is pretty awesome. All right. Cake fridge. Oh, I saw this on Instagram, and I thought it was kind of cool with all the love for color work that I have. And sometimes it's pretty hard to pick what you want to do, but I got this on Amazon. But this is a dictionary of color combinations. So sometimes we get paralyzed deciding on the color, which there's so many options. It's really fun to just even do the same pattern over and over again. But so it has ideas of different color combos. So like those, say you had me, for example, always with a navy. These are some options that could go with it. And it's just a guidance. There's no rules. But I love to see the combos, and some things maybe out of my wheelhouse a little bit, but I would still like to try. But I thought it was really fun. I've just been enjoying looking at the different color combinations. But I wanted to share that. That's what I bought this week. And it's cute. I wasn't expecting this cutie little book. I thought it was going to be a normal size, but I actually prefer this little size. All right. So that's the Dictionary of Color Combinations. And I cannot pronounce I'll show you one more time. I might sneeze, so sorry about that. Okay, the other thing that I picked up, there it is, excuse me, was since I was knitting this Mesa top, I was like, I have other summer tops in my whip pile that I haven't finished. So I went immediately and looked for the Cumulus, which is by Petite Knits. Let me look it up because it's not spelled. I was thinking Cumulus like the cloud, so with a C, but it's spelled with a K. Oh no, it's not. It's with a C. I thought I saw it with a K somewhere. Anyways, this is the Cumulus top, or Cumulus T by Petite Knits. And in her, she used Knitting For Olive pure silk, which is what I ended up using. But I had this probably over a year in my whip pile. So I pulled it out. I hadn't done the neck because I wasn't sure on the length, but I had all of this done. all of it, as you see here, without the I-cord on the neck. Why do I leave it like that? I have no idea. Other than I was knitting in the round, and then I didn't know if it was the right length. And so instead of putting it on a barber cord, like I did finally, I put it away, which is so weird. I don't know why I'm like that, but I'm like that. And so I did get it out. I tried it on. It's pretty low on the front, but once I figured out how to do the I-cord, that's the other thing. When I have to relearn how to do something, I pause and just put it away till I'm ready to learn. So I guess I was ready to learn, but I did the I-cord edging, which I actually used Petite Knits tutorial that she has up on YouTube. It is not in English, but it has subtitles in English. So since I had done an I-cord edge before, I had the gist, but I needed the reminder, so her video worked fine for that. This neckline is still kind of low for me. It's okay, you know, upright, but when I lean over, I would definitely have to hold my hand or wear a camisole or something. The fabric feels awesome. I know working on it, I actually had to change to wood needle, and I'm not typically I used to be. I went from wood needles to metal needles, and then I go back and forth sometimes depending on the yarn or the project. But I did in this for Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which this is the color or the ball I have. I'm not sure if I have the color for you. Yes, Putty. It's Putty color, Knitting for Olive. It's not my best color. I think that's also why I paused. But since it's kind of low off the face, it might work, but the fabric itself feels awesome that I can imagine it almost like over a bathing suit or with shorts and just a cover up top if it's a really hot day. But I think I paused also because I didn't love the color on me. I wish I loved that color on me. It's a beautiful color, but I did change to Chaogu, these wood needles. The whole thing was knit on a US 3 and bound off with, I used a US 2. It calls for 1.5, but I don't have 1.5. And so I did use a US 2 for the I-cord. For the neckline, you pick up every stitch versus for the sleeves, and then for the hem, when I get there, it is a decreased I-cord, which she writes down that it's so that, if you can kind of see, it sort of goes in, down, versus flaring up. So I think just having that little decrease in there helps it taper in versus flaring out. This rolls in just fine, but I could have picked up less. I don't think I would have wanted a tighter I-cord just because I feel like it might pucker, but it could have been a little bit higher for me. But I think that I will maybe knit a camisole and then I could wear it underneath this. But the fabric feels awesome. I also remember working with it was a little frustrating, and I forgot to mention why I changed to wood needles. And it's because, I'm sure you can't see this, but somehow the way that it's twisted, I would pierce it a lot. So if I squish it together, the plies come apart. So you can kind of see how they can spread apart. So I would pierce it and then end up catching only one of the strands of yarn. And so a lot, when that would happen, I actually would drop down to try to catch both. So I do have a lot of these like runs, so to speak, where it's a little wider there because I dropped down and it stretched it out. So I think over time and blocking and wearing, it'll all even out. But I do remember being a little frustrated that I kept splitting the yarn, and then I would drop down, and then it would show the ladder of dropping down afterwards. But the slinkiness is pretty awesome. I think what I'm gonna do is just knit 1 more inch, which will take a while on US 3s. And then I'll do the I-cord bind off on the bottom and be done. So maybe I'll be wearing that next time. But it's perfect timing now. I don't know why I leave stuff like that, but it'll get done now. So that's a whip that I was working on. Clearly picking a whip doesn't seem to work because I never picked up that red bulky cardigan that I had said I'm gonna pick a whip and finish it. Nah, I didn't do it. I just need to knit on what you're gonna knit. Okay, let's see, do I have anything? Oh, the cast on crazy cast on Madi. Okay, the final thing that I'll show you today is something new that I cast on, and it's the Wabi-sabi socks. And they're right here. I can't get over how cute these are. I have a good collection of mini skeins, and it calls for mini skeins. And so I'm very sure about what I want to do with them. You can knit heels, toes, and socks, which of course it's great for, but some of them are so beautiful. I want more of it to show. And so the Wabi-sabi socks were perfect. And I found a really pretty bundle of mini skeins that I had for a while by Sonder Yarn Co. And then when I needed one more because she shows the Wabi-sabi socks are with 6 colors. And so I used one more from Le Garçon. That mini skein with the label is the Le Garçon. The other ones are Sonder Yarn, which I do have the label. Let me see if I can find it in my pile. I just pulled it over. I remember that. Here it is. So Sonder Yarn Co. is merino and nylon, 80% and 20%. And this was a little mini set that they offered. So it's 5 20 grams. And then, like I said, one extra in there that's BFL from Le Garçon. But this is what I have so far. I love them. This was in the car. I did this in the car yesterday at a soccer practice because I tried to walk, but it was freezing yesterday, so I was not interested. But this is what I did. I love it. I actually had started this portion down here opposite, so where the darker mustard was right under this purple, but I pulled it out because I changed my mind, and I actually like it much better like this. So again, color work. The only hard part is picking the colors. This one I did cast on 64 stitches, and I'm loving it so far. You could tell how rough my hands are because I didn't have any lotion in the car because it's a little fluffy and fuzzy, but I think it'll be okay. I love it so much. It's so fun. And so it's definitely thick because it is color work, and it has kind of that double layer inside. So it'll be a warm and toasty one. Look how cute the inside, but it's thick for sure. These are all fingering weight though. I'm doing the color work on a US 2. I did cast on with a US 1. So I'm excited about these, and I have them in one of the amazing Madder Root bags because I can just click it and throw it into the back of the car, or I can put it on my bag. I have a hard time finding like a purse bag that is also a good knitting bag. So I feel like this works better for me if I click it to the outside because I love my lion and leather crossbody bag so much. Let's see, I have to show you because it's so good. And she's making a bigger one, which maybe I could fit my yarn in that one. But this is Lion Leather Company, and she's a Colorado maker. And this is my favorite crossbody bag, but this is her big version, which maybe will work with knitting. Anyways, I think is that all? Let me see if that's all. Wabi-sabi. Okay, I get to tell you guys my Ravelry purchases this week. I love Ravelry, and I can go down a rabbit hole and just buy new patterns, like new patterns. Then I have this huge list, which I can never ever finish, but I can dream knit as much as I want, right? So the new favorites I had this week were, I've purchased a few too. So I purchased the garden cardigan, which, you guys, another amazing thing happened this week. I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. I've never been, and I'm so excited. I get to go with the wonderful ladies that I joined at the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's chapel_maker. Oh, geez. Is it chapel? Let me look. Why can't I remember that one? That is so bad. Chapel. Yes. Chapel_hill maker. So I'm going with chapel_hill_maker. I'm going with the beautiful ladies of Knitworthy Yarns and the wonderful Living with Wool. So I can't believe it, but we're actually going. And so we are going to knit, I think. This is the plan. Of course, things can change, but we're going to knit the Garden Cardigan by Anne Kastrick. And this is it right here. It's beautiful. Look at this amazing back. And so we're going to knit this, and it'll be our Rhinebeck sweater, which would be great for if it's hot, we can wear something under. If it's cool, we can wear a t-shirt. Oh, I said that backwards. If it's hot, we can wear a t-shirt and a cardigan. If it's cold, we can wear a sweater underneath the cardigan. So I'm very excited about that. I'm not totally sure which yarn I'm going to use yet, but I'll be swatching for the garden cardigan soon. And then, what else did we get here? The Wabi-sabi socks, which I showed you, I cast on right away. And then this amazing Mia summer tee. This, I love this. I love that raglan increase. That's just going to be perfect. I know it fits well. I love the sleeve details. Let's see, I can show you up a little closer. Those pretty sleeve details. So I love that new top as well. I think we made it through. I have one last thing to share. I have been listening to a different book than I had mentioned in the past. I had kind of just been walking with music and trying to stay active with moose, but then I was listening to music more, but I just started a new book called Hello Beautiful, and this is what it looks like. And I'm enjoying it. It is definitely, I didn't even know what it would be about or what to expect, but I do like the book Dear Edward, and this is the same author, but I'm really enjoying it. So Hello Beautiful is the book I've been listening to. All right, I think, let's see, I still have time to eat a lunch, and then we'll go get the tire fixed. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and all is going smooth and normal in your life right now. See ya.